So like you, I do a lot of research before I make any big purchases. This is especially true when purchasing livestock. But are red Wattles actually a good fit if you are a homesteader or a first-time pig raiser? Pig person, pig guy. So yes, this is my first time raising pigs. We've done sheep, we've done chickens, we've done goats, we have bees, but this is our first time with pigs. I'm not a livestock novice, but pigs are their own animal. They're different than a sheep for sure. Why did I choose this breed? They have a lot of heritage aspects to them. So for me, what was important was obviously taste and finishing out. Because when you're raising pigs on a small scale, you're not doing it to make money. Because let me tell you, 2 pigs for the amount of time and labor and feed costs, you're not going to make that much money back. If I can cover my costs, that will be great. So why am I doing this? For the flavor, for a product that I can't get at the store or even at the farmer's market. In a blind taste study between the Berkshire and the red Wattle, the red Wattle has been proven to have a tastier finish out product. The Berkshire pig, if you didn't know, is renowned for its marbling and coloring, and the red Wattle is supposed to be better than that. Also, it's a threatened breed, but it's making a comeback largely because its flavor profile, and they just make great pigs, I think, for a first-timer. So let's get into why. The red Wattle is known to be self-sufficient, delicious, efficient, and docile. So that's the reputation you'll see if you look it up online, but how true actually is that? Okay, so we just have these 2 males. They're castrated. So the first thing that I want to talk about is their growth rate and feed conversion. So I'm going to give them 5 out of 5 bacon strips for growth rate and feed conversion. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means these pigs are adept at turning food into muscle and fat. Muscle and fat are both very usable products on a pig. Whereas, a sheep, you'd want just muscle, really. We're okay with some fat on the pig. So I believe that ours reached a mature size before 6 months. They did really, really well in that regard. And we do not give them free choice food. So I feed them twice a day. They consume their food within 20 minutes of me feeding them. So they're definitely not free choice hogs. One thing that I was surprised about is that they have not eaten garden scraps or greens from the kitchen, for example, like the tops of beets, as fast as their reputation made me believe they would. So you can kind of see in there, there's a banana peel, there's some garden scraps, some kitchen scraps. They'll probably eat that banana peel, but I wouldn't be surprised if I come back tomorrow and the greens are still there. But nevertheless, they are a great size hog. Like I said, they've finished out quicker than I would have guessed, given their heritage kind of status. Okay, let's talk about forage and pasture behavior. I'm going to give them 4 out of 5 bacon strips. So I see a lot of stuff online that the red Wattle will basically live on a pasture, that their foraging ability is amazing and they'll dig up worms and tubers and bugs. They'll do it for sure, but guys, they're not getting to this weight off of grass. Now when it rains, I have seen them tear apart mud and look for worms, and that's one of the coolest things in the world to see. But again, they're not getting to this size just on the pasture. So I think that they're good at it. I just am a little upset at the reputation is unrealistic. I saw a couple places online saying like, yeah, you really won't even have to feed them. That's just not true. I will say that when they were younger and I put them on clover the first time, they ate mouthfuls of clover, which I think is great. I think that that's good, not because it's, necessarily giving them a lot of calories, because it's not, but it's giving them a lot of nutrients. It's vitamins, it's minerals. And these pigs love to root, okay? So they've been off of this spot of land for about a month, and I just put them back on it just now. You can see he's already going to his old spots, trying to find spots to root. You can see some areas are thinner than others back here. That's because they pick their favorite spots and root. You can see this is where they were just a week ago, so you can see kind of all this barren earth. Okay, so here's a good example. So they've been here for a week, so you can see, they're digging up spots, they're rooting, they've basically, if there's a free spot, they tear it up out here. Fun fact, anywhere you put their house or their structure, they're going to tear up that space first. Here's another patch back here that they tore up. This is all in a week, ladies and gentlemen. So the reason I give them a 4 out of 5 here is if you want them on the pasture, they're going to tear up your pasture. You're going to have to aggressively rotate them. These are definitely forest pigs, not pasture pigs. Next, let's talk temperament. There's kind of a pro and a con to them. So they're advertised to be very docile, and right now mine are fine because they have food. But if I'm even a few hours late feeding them, they let me know, and it can be pretty scary. If I wasn't wearing, knee-high boots, it would be kind of scary to be out here with them. I've seen them kind of nip at my boots, which is not fun. These pigs weigh a lot, they're big, they're muscly, and I don't want to get on the wrong side of these pigs. I definitely have one that's more of an alpha and more of a beta one. They're both about the same size now, but man, that alpha, when he squeals and like chases me when I've got the bucket, or when I have to flip over his food bowl to put food in it, I'm not a fan of that. So I would give them a 3 out of 5 for temperament, but here's the pro, and it's right behind me here. So this fence, they respect electric fence. Okay, so once they understand it, which took them a couple of weeks. See, here's the alpha. He's got food, but I still don't want to stand right next to him. Once they learned really how the fence worked, they didn't test it. I think only once they got under it, and I was planning on moving them that night anyway. I had the food on one side of the fence, so they were just motivated to go there. I can't be too mad at them about that, but they respected the fence really well. Maybe the most important thing, health and hardiness. 5 out of 5 bacon strips. Aside from rotating them, which I move them about every 7 to 10 days, they were in a big spot of our forest, and we had them there for about 3 full weeks. But other than that, every 7 to 10 days, they've been moved to a new location, and I've had 0 issues with them. They've been nothing but hardy, healthy, active pigs. And let me give you a tip if you notice flies or ticks on your pigs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is it. Give them a wallow. Give them ample water because they don't sweat. They need to roll around in this. It's sunscreen for them, and it gets the ticks off of their back, okay? Just make sure they have this. My pigs have loved this, and wherever they go, if they have enough water, they will make one of these. That's a really good way to tell. If they're making a wallow, they have enough water. We have been really grateful for these pigs. If I hadn't had such a good experience with them, I might steer away from raising pigs just because the cost of feed can be obscene. But they've been so easy and rewarding that I'll definitely be raising pigs again. Okay, I have one more category that I wanted to do to round this video out: the yield and the taste and the marbling. And wish me luck, because I am not looking forward to loading these pigs on a trailer. We've had the pork back for about a month now, and so we've done pork chops, breakfast sausages. The bacon is the best that I've ever had. Today, I'm doing pork chops for lunch. I just want to call out here the marbling. So if you've had any other pig, or pork, I guess I should say, like, you don't see intramuscle marbling like that. And like, oh my gosh, like, look at that. That is perfect. Here's kind of a typical pork chop, but look at the fat marbling in there. I mean, these chops just come out perfect. It is not hyperbole to say that these are the best pork chops I've ever had in my life. Every single one is reliably the best that I've ever had. A thin glaze of mayo will give you the best sear of your life. For those interested, for those 2 pigs, we got about 390 pounds of product back. So I just want to call out right there. There's a little bit of darkness to that meat. Not quite the redness you'd see in a beefsteak, but it totally comes through in the red wattle pig. So what does it taste like? Guys, there's just nothing else like it. So if you couldn't guess already, 5 out of 5 bacon strips for the pork chops, and for all the meat. Like I said, we have done pork chops. We've made our own maple sausage out of it, which is so good. And the bacon is absolutely top notch. It is dark. It is full flavored. thick strips. Just for reference sake, we got almost 40 pounds of bacon back from those 2 pigs. The only downside was loading them on the trailer. That was the worst 3 hours of my life. Yes, it took me 3 hours. If you want to learn more, we can talk about that in the comment section. That was very hard. I don't think that's unique to red Wattles, though. That's it for me today. I'm PJ with the High Mountain Homestead. I gotta go finish that pork chop. I'll see you on the next video. There is light at the end of the pork tunnel. Oh, it's so good. It's just so full flavor. It's just hard to explain. They're so good.